Welcome to History Made Simple, where we break down the past with no fluff, so history actually makes sense. My name is Diamond K. This is OnFire Broadcasting, Radio on Fire. Let's dive in. Today's topic is Valentine's Day. This is a holiday we associate with romance, with roses, with heart-shaped candy, but its origins are far from sweet. Let's get into it. So, before Valentine's Day, before there were love letters and chocolates, ancient Rome celebrated a festival called Lupercalia. This was actually not about romance. It was about fertility and population control. The Roman elite believed strong families meant a strong empire. The festival involved animal sacrifices, ritualized violence, and a lottery system that paired men and women together, sometimes for an entire year. Love had nothing to do with it. So, enter Saint Valentine. As Christianity spread, the church began replacing pagan rituals with Christian symbolism. One figure tied to this shift was Saint Valentine. According to the legend, the Roman emperor banned marriages for young men, believing single men made better soldiers. Valentine defied that order by secretly marrying couples. For challenging state power, he was arrested and executed on February 14th. The church later honored him as a martyr, and over time, his story merged with the date. The romantic angle did not show up until the Middle Ages. Poets like Geoffrey Chaucer started writing about February 14th as a day when birds chose their mates. That idea caught on among European elites and slowly filtered into popular culture. By the 1800s, mass-produced Valentine's Day cards were everywhere. Then came the flowers. Then came the candy. Then came the diamonds. This is in the 1800s. Now, what started as a political and religious replacement holiday actually became a commercial machine, the one that we see today. So, what does Valentine's Day really represent? At its core, Valentine's Day reflects how power works. Government regulating personal relationships, religion reshaping culture, corporations monetizing emotion. Love was never the foundation. It was the final product. So the next time you see a heart-shaped anything, remember, Valentine's Day was not born out of love. It was engineered. That is today's lesson on History Made Simple. But of course, we have adopted this tradition, and many folks really swear by it. It's something that is a part of American relationships, and I myself have obviously participated in Valentine's Day. But when you strip away the myths and talk about what really happened, the holiday sold as pure love and romance, but born from violence, political corruption, and religious strategy. It is very interesting. I don't look at February 14th the same as I did coming up. So to understand it, we got to go back to ancient Rome and their thoughts and their views on relationships as personal choices. It wasn't that. The marriage, sex, reproduction were state matters. They were state matters, and I'm glad that things are different now than they were back then. And you ask why? I mean, population meant power. And I suppose it still means power. But if you think about the fact that in Roman times, every February, Rome held this festival about obedience and fertility. Blood was smeared on participants. The animals were sacrificed. Young women placed in this lottery system. Women would not go for that today. This government-approved intimacy. Love was irrelevant. And the fact that it's now supposed to be at the center of things, although I think it's really capitalism that's at the center of things. But what mattered back in the day, back in Roman times, was producing the next generation of Romans. Now, the Christianity, as it spread throughout the Roman Empire, the church faced problems. It couldn't just erase the pagan traditions. People were deeply attached to them. So what the church did was rebrand them. So they kept those same dates, kept the same rituals, but gave them new meanings. And upon that is where Saint Valentine entered. But we do want to say this. There were actually multiple men named Valentine that were executed by Rome. However, one legend stood out, and that, according to Christian tradition, was the priest who secretly performed marriages. So the Roman state, as we said, banned them from young men. They wanted their soldiers to be single. They didn't want them worrying about family. And marriage creates an emotion that some people attach to weakness, and that weakened the loyalty for the empire. So they wanted them to focus on the empire and the things that, emperors and the generals wanted. So by marrying couples away, Valentine wasn't just defying the law. He was challenging state authority over his personal life. Rome responded the way that empires do. They killed him. And February 14th became the day his execution was remembered. So, the church did not elevate Valentine because of romance. They elevated him because he symbolized obedience to God over the state. This was about moral authority, and they used him in honoring Valentine. The church sent a message. Love should be sacred. Marriage should be religious. The state should not control intimacy. But don't misunderstand. This was not about freedom. This was about shifting control from government to religion. Now, romance did not enter the picture until centuries later. In medieval Europe, writers and poets began associating February the 14th with courtly love. Now, you may wonder why. This is because the elites had leisure. They had time to romance. If you were a serf or you were a poor person, you didn't have time for this kind of petty stuff, right? You had to work, feed your family. But love became symbolic, poetic, aspirational, but it was not practical. This version of Valentine's Day had nothing to do with the peasants or the working people. It was cultural storytelling by and for the upper class. Over time, that story trickled down. But you fast forward to the 1800s and things start looking more start looking more familiar. Let me say that. Printing became cheap, mass production exploded, and suddenly love could be sold. Valentine's cards, candy, and flowers. Corporations realized something powerful. If you tie love to obligation, people will spend money to avoid guilt. Valentine's Day became less about affection and more about performance. If you don't buy something, do you really care? That's what a lot of women will have men thinking. That's the question that capitalism injected into love. So what Valentine's Day really is, when you strip it all down, Valentine's Day is a mirror of history itself. The states controlling bodies, religion reshaping culture, and capitalism monetizing emotion. Love did not create Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day manufactured how we express love. So whether you celebrate it or you ignore it, understand this. Valentine's Day isn't fake, but it is constructed. And once you know the history, you get to decide what it means to you. Your man Dami K, and this has been History Made Simple, Radio on Fire, onfirebroadcasting.com.